Good evening. We're in Studio 6C, and it's January 7th, 2025, and we're sitting here with World War II hero, John J. Jeckovich. How are you doing today, Mr.
Right,
Jeckovich?
you're doing great.
You're looking well. You're looking chipper.
Yeah.
I heard you had another special visitor today.
Oh, Amber, yeah.
Tell us about your visit.
She's a sweetheart. She's a sweetheart, yeah.
Could you imagine this girl?
Yeah.
It just restores your faith in people.
Yeah.
Just restores your faith in people. What an exceptional person.
She's going to minister tonight.
Yeah. So, bitch, you brought it up. Let me elaborate on it. Amber Nicole Jeckovich is a young girl in her 20s. She's a full-time missionary, and she's an avid surfer. Mr. Jeckovich is the great-granddaughter of Mr. Jeckovich, and they're like two peas in the pod. Amber goes to churches most recently in this area where Mr. Jeckovich is, his house is, and she'll stop by here for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah.
And you were here to read, and you do artwork together.
Yeah.
And what else you do?
Yeah.
Makes you dinner, have dinner together.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. So it's just a wonderful thing to hear about a nice person like Amber Nicole Jeckovich, full-time missionary, full-time surfer, and Amber lives on the water, on the ocean, by the way. She can roll out of bed and be in the sand immediately. She lives on the ocean, but if you're an avid surfer like Amber, and that's her life is surfing and serving the Lord, many times the waves aren't good enough. Many times the waves aren't good enough in Florida. So Amber has surfed all around the world.
Looking for the waves.
Yeah, chasing the waves. You're right, Mr. Jeckovich. Chasing the waves. All around the world. I don't think there's a destination she hasn't gone to. She was in Oceanside in Malibu, California for the last 3 months prior to coming back to her house here in Florida. And now she'll be going to surfing in Martinique shortly, and then Australia's having their summer now, just the opposite of ours. She'll be surfing there for a few months, and then she'll be on the way back. She'll stop for some time and surf in Hawaii. So the list is long where she surfs at, and but she's doing a wonderful job in her missionary work. So she tries to visit a different church every night. And most recently, it was a nice thing to do. Amber made it a goal to surf each day for over 1 year to raise money for young kids with cancer. She raised a lot of money for them, and every penny, every cent went right to the family that was having difficulties, having a child have cancer. You have someone that's sick, it's very expensive.
Yeah.
So she raised a lot of money for these people. So Amber is a beautiful girl. It makes Mr. Jeckovich very happy when she shows up. She's in the 20s, full-time missionary, full-time surfer. And when I bump into Amber, I always mention, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
Who said that?
I said, Amber, when I grow up, I want to be just like her, a missionary and surfing. What a beautiful life.
Yeah.
Bible in her hand all the time. So it was a nice visit. To see Amber today. So everything's going well with you today, huh?
Yeah.
You're looking well.
You went to a lecture today, too.
What's that?
You went to that lecture today.
Oh, I heard you went to a lecture today. How was that?
That was boring as hell.
Tell us what it was about. Amber said that you went to a lecture. Where did you go to? What the hell was this lecture about?
That was about the history of Daytona Beach.
And what was that? Was it good?
Boring as hell. This guy just mumbled on.
So he wasn't much of a speaker.
Oh, he's talking all right, but he was telling us stuff we knew.
So
he's pumping up Daytona Beach.
Oh, okay. And did Amber like?
Huh?
Did Amber like the speaker's information?
No, she was doing blinking eyes at me all the time.
So she was making googly eyes at you. So it could have been better. The lecture could have been much better.
Yeah.
Mr. Jeckovich is knocking on the door of 100. And even though you're knocking on the door of 100, even though you're knocking on door 100, it seems like you learn something new each and every day. Mr. Jeckovich's mind his brain his mind is like a library. He knows a little bit about everything, and he's done a lot of things in his life. That's for sure. That's for sure. We're reading the chapter, Mr. Jeckovich, about you opening up the laundry. Before I open up the laptop to get to the laundry chapter, could you give me your dog tag number?
420965.
Yeah, by the way, that's the code to open up the laptop. And Mr. Jeckovich was telling me how things were different now than was much a simpler life. When Mr. Jeckovich used to travel, he had carried a big suitcase with him. And to identify your suitcase, you had written in a magic marker across it. What'd you have?
My serial number.
Your social security number. Could you imagine putting your social security number to public today?
Oh, I never do
It
it.
wouldn't be good. The results wouldn't be good. So that's changed drastically.
Yeah.
And many things have. Mr. Jeckovich was raised during the Depression, the Great Depression. Mr. Jeckovich was born in 1925, and now it's 2025. What a stretch. I guess you've seen a lot of changes.
Oh, yeah. Well, I was young in 25. We didn't actually see any Great Depression, no.
So
We had good food. We had good relationships with the family.
So it didn't really affect, in fact, you didn't know you were poor, put it that way,
And
right? You didn't know you're poor. But keep an idea, just get an idea, when Mr. Jeckovich was growing up, the bakery would bring you your products with horse and buggy.
yeah.
No TV was invented. The milk was delivered horse and buggy.
Yeah.
They had a little tiny radio they would put on their counter. The whole family would gather around and listen, right?
No TV.
No TV. And the phones were just coming into houses. But the phones were very different than the phones we have today.
They're all on party lines.
Explain to us what a party line is.
2 or 3 people on the same line.
2 or 3 people on the same line.
Yeah. Or they get on and they listen to what the other person's talking about.
So how the hell do you make a phone call if someone's on your phone?
Well, it's a jumble. It's a
So you have to wait till they get off, and then you pick it up if you have a dial tone, and
And then they don't hang
then
up.
they listen.
Then they listen, yeah.
Wow.
So nothing's private. Nothing's private.
Yeah. But those were when the phones were attached to the wall. When the phones were attached to the wall, you basically had freedom. And let me tell you the reason why. When the phones were attached to the wall, you had freedom. When you're at the house, if the phone rang, you talk to someone, or you want to call someone, you did it from your house. But now today, everybody, including little children, have cell phones. So you don't have any freedom. You're at the beck and call 24/7.
Yeah.
No matter where you go, they're messaging you or calling you. So there's no freedom. All these gadgets today were supposed to be giving us conveniences.
And privacy doesn't.
Not true. Complete opposite. There's no conveniences.
Yeah.
There's no conveniences. And so now we're on the chapter of 22 where Mr. Jeckovich is opening up the laundromat. And I'll recap what we got so far. Mr. Jeckovich's wife is Delphine, and they were deliberating for many months to open up the laundromat because it was a big investment and a lot of monthly payments for 4 years, regardless.
$465.
Yeah, regardless if it made money or not. Then Mr. Jeckovich presented, Mrs. Jeckovich presented it to Mr. Jeckovich's mother that they were considering opening the
She got pissed off.
laundromat. And Mr. Jeckovich's mother became very angry. She told Delphine to go upstairs. She's not going to watch TV tonight because they used to watch TV together.
Yeah.
And she locked the door. And then Delphine went upstairs to her apartment. And then shortly thereafter, Mr. Jeckovich was working in the basement and he heard his mother turn the TV on.
Yeah.
And so then after that, Delphine would go downstairs on a regular basis and have coffee with Anna Jeckovich, which is Mr. Jeckovich's mother, and she had the door locked.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let her in.
She wouldn't answer the knock, no.
And so then later that day, Mrs. Jeckovich gathered up the kids, and they drove to where Anna Jeckovich, Mr. Jeckovich's mother, worked at Carbrundum on Buffalo Avenue in Niagara
Trying to pick her up.
Yeah,
She
they went
wouldn't,
to pick
she
her
wouldn't
up.
get in the car.
And what happened?
She wouldn't get in the car.
So Mrs. Jeckovich, Delphine Jeckovich, is in the car with her kids, and Mr. Jeckovich's mother, Anna Jeckovich, is just getting out of work, and Delphine say, "Come on, Ma, come on in, we'll give you a ride home." And she just kept walking.
Yeah.
She wouldn't get in the car. But as a couple days went by, things smoothed out, and his mother took the broom and started pounding on the ceiling for them to come down and have coffee and cake, and the matter was resolved.
Yeah. I don't know why she got all excited.
Do you have any idea why she didn't want you to open a laundromat?
I think she was taking some of my time. I was wasting her time with me.
So she would have taken away time with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or money. Or money, yeah.
But it turned out well.
Yeah.
And you had the laundromat for many years.
18 years I had the laundromat.
Did your mother ever visit it one time?
No.
Not one time?
Not one time. None of the relatives either. And then when we get together for Christmas, we never bring it up. I never brought it up.
Wow, that's really something. That's hard to believe.
Isn't that hard to believe? Yeah.
Hard to believe.
I asked old Deputy, what the hell, what are they all humpity-jumpity about, that stupid laundromat?
Anyways, it worked out for the best. It was a great money maker, and you had a great second income or third income. It was very nice. So, I'm going to start reading here about the store opening, but do you want to read a few pages?
No, go ahead.
Oh, by the way, before I start reading about the laundromat, Mr. Jeckovich was from Company H, the 2nd Battalion of the new 291st Regiment of the 75th Infantry Division of the U.S. Army during World War II. Mr. Jeckovich lives by the motto, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, and today is a gift. Yeah. Today is a gift. Wow. That's interesting. So here we go. Mr. Jeckovich is in the opening stages of the laundromat. Here we go. So the laundromat's finally getting open, and Mr. Jeckovich says, I do not know what to expect as far as the amount of people would have come into the store, but my instincts told me that a free wash would attract a reasonable amount during most of the day.
Yeah.
So you open up with guy having a free wash.
Open up Saturday afternoon.
Free wash.
Saturday morning, 8 o'clock.
Free wash.
Yeah.
And who was there? Were you there with your wife?
Well, I had push the things and just get the machine started so we get free wash.
But besides you being there, was your wife with you?
No.
So you opened it up yourself?
Yeah.
I regretted that we had no way of keeping the record amount of washes we had that day. Instead, we relied on our estimate, which was not too accurate. There were several bouquets of flowers standing in the front of the store near the phone booth and the coin changer. I didn't know you had a phone booth in there.
Well, yeah, we had a regular phone booth in there, yeah.
10-cent dial phone?
Yeah.
Was it a wooden phone booth or a glass phone booth?
It was a glass.
I see, 10 cents dial, right?
Yeah.
Another was from the Duplex of New York, wishing us a success, signed by Bennett and Sheenus. Who's Bennett?
Bennett was the one that started me on that.
Who's Sheenus?
That's probably his wife.
Sheenus, S-H-I-N.
That's probably his wife, yeah.
There was a smaller one from Delphine and the children. So Delphine sent you a bouquet of flowers too.
Who did?
It said there was a smaller bouquet of flowers from Delphine and the children, which I liked the best. So your wife sent you flowers. Suddenly, as I gazed upon the small bouquet, I somehow felt I was forsaking them for something else less desirable, and I wanted to leave and be with them. Suffice it to say, we did not receive a recognition from any of our family members, such as Clarence. Who's Clarence?
Clarence was my son-in-law,
Brother-in-law.
brother-in-law, yeah.
Did you see him much?
No.
And Seal.
That was his wife, yeah.
That's your Delphine's sister.
Yeah.
Delphine's side of the family didn't make an appearance, so here, Delphine's family made an appearance. Clarence installed a lock on the front storage room while they were there, and I appreciate it. So Clarence helped you.
Yeah, he fixed the lock on the door, yeah.
What kind of work did Clarence do?
What the hell did he do? Oh, he worked in a factory. He worked in a factory.
He's long gone, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's long gone.
Yeah.
Long gone. There was a steady stream of people using the washers from 9 a.m. to shortly before noon. After that, it tapered off considerably, only increased in tempo a little before 3 p.m., which lasted for only a brief interlude. There was only a trickle during the late afternoon by 5 p.m. When the free wash should be terminated, there was only 4 or 5 paying customers in the store using the dryers. What kind of dryers did you have?
They were big, huge dryers, 50-foot dry, 50 cubic dryers. They were the big dryers, 10 cents for 10 minutes.
Gas?
Gas, yeah.
Okay. Was that Niagara Mohawk? Was that Niagara Mohawk?
Yeah, they had a big gas meter outside, yeah.
It had gone rather well, better than I anticipated, and there were no real breakdowns. Only people over soaping. What's over soaping?
Well, the water was soft, and they were putting the soap in like they did at home where the water was hard. And I kept saying, the water's soft, open as my soap.
So you had water softeners to come out a better wash, but 99% of the residents back then always had hard water from the city.
And they thought there was the same thing here.
Yeah.
So there was soap.
Soft water would suds a lot more.
And there was soap and everything up.
Soft water would suds a lot more. Okay, that makes sense. Did you have to put salt in your water softener?
Oh yeah, I had a big tank in the back to soften that water. Yeah, before it went into the washers.
Okay. I did notice, to my dismay, a shortage of real hot water. So you didn't have a big enough hot water tank?
I didn't have a big enough tank. Yeah, that was a problem.
But I thought you told the plumber in the beginning to put a big tank in there.
I told him what we wanted. Oh, Shippers was a pain in the ass. He was a Shippers plumber anyway. I didn't like
He
it.
was a plumber, right?
Yeah. Finis.
Okay, let's see what it says here. Several customers remarked about the cold water wash, and I'll do my best to give them a reasonable explanation why it occurred.
I gave him the free wash.
Okay, so you had to give everything away free that day.
Yeah.
But really never told them the real reason. The dismal rate of recovery of the boiler, I relayed my displeasure to Bennett, but he only became uncommunicated.
Then they lost me. They lost contact. After New York, they didn't want to talk to me.
That was done.
That was
Once
Bennett.
they got your money, they didn't want to know you.
Yeah.
Same story today. And left soon after. That was the last time I ever saw Bennett or talked to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
So take the money and run.
Yeah.
He spent hours talking to you over the weeks or months, and now the store is open, and you're trying to work out the opening problems, which every business has an opening problem. There's not one that doesn't. He took off.
He took off.
And he's the one that had experience
He
with
didn't
it.
want to know nothing.
Delphine came to the store with the children and stayed for a while, watching the people come and go. The kids were excited seeing all the people there, and somehow reasoned that they were doing great until I pointed to the large free wash sign.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, but I was worried about that they were getting cold water.
Yeah, signs in the window. He then became hesitant and wanted to know why we're giving away free washes. I told Delphine to pick me up at 6 and the store would be on its own for the first full night. It seemed strange to leave the front door unlocked and just walk out of the store with all its lights on and no one there to watch over it. As it turned out, the store wasn't locked in 18 years.
Yeah, it wasn't locked, the lights weren't off.
18 years. Wow.
No vandalism, no vandalism.
No vandalism. Wow. How do you think it would be today?
That was the culture then.
How do you think it would be today?
Oh, they'd be tearing everything
We'd have
apart.
nothing left.
They'd be tearing up just to be hellish.
Just to run hell.
Yeah,
Just to be nasty people.
yeah.
I never did feel comfortable leaving it all open. The weekend was a long weekend off, and I would not have to be back to work till Tuesday night, giving me several days to observe the store fully operational. I knew that something would have to be done with the boiler as recovery was concerned. So the biggest problem was you weren't producing enough hot water.
No, if it's finished, they'd give me the right boiler.
Yeah, as to what another issue, the washers themselves presented no real problem that I could concern to, but it was still too early to make an evaluation as to their performance. Now let me ask you, were the washers gravity fed or pump fed?
Gravity.
So
There's no pumps on it. That made it, so that's why we had the pad on it. That's why DeLuca, when we put the pad, reinforcements down the basement, he started bissing. He said, I was going to make that a cafeteria down there, and you put all those iron bars down there.
So there's no pumps in these washers, but you put cement about 2 or 3 feet high,
For the gravity.
and you laid the washers on top of these cement pads,
Yeah.
which were gravity.
Yeah.
So you eliminated the pump.
I didn't need the pump, no.
That's smart thinking. I informed them Delphine was excited about our first day of operation and said she was impressed with all the people who were there and when she came in with the children. I then informed her the grand total we made that day was $40 on the dryers and $15 on the pop machine and $5 on the soap vending machine, $3 on the extractor, a grand total of $63. That wasn't bad the first day.
Yeah, and that was all stuff that was at nickel and dime.
Oh, that wasn't bad the first day. I also informed her I estimated there were approximately 200 to 250 people in the store opening day, and each one averaged 2 washers or $100 in washers. Hardly a great day, but still opening.
They were all free.
Yeah. I could understand her regarding the store. I felt the same way. It had been a part of us, something we had created, nurtured, and now we're experiencing the fruits of our labor.
7 minutes.
That really wasn't a bad day.
No.
That
That was Saturday
considering
night.
gas-
Saturday morning we opened up.
Considering when you opened these many years ago, gasoline was 17 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
$1 was worth something.
Gas was cheaper then too.
Yeah, 17 cents a gallon. And when the attendant would come out during Mr. Jekovich's day, when he'd get gas at 17 cents a gallon, a total fill-up of your car, $3 about, the attendant would pump the gas, yes, pump the gas. The attendant would open your hood and check your oil and your transmission fluid. Oh yes, that's when they had transmission fluid dipsticks. Now they don't. Now you're like a little beggar. If you want to check your transmission fluid, you drive to the dealer and they charge you a couple $100 to do what they did for you back then with a dipstick. They would check all the air in your tires
Yeah.
and wash your windshield.
Wash your windshield.
All that for 17 cents a gallon.
Yeah.
Now, fast forward how complicated life is. You stand in line or you wait in line, $3, $4, $5 a gallon. You grab a dirty gas handle that who knows how many friggin' illegal aliens carried or touched that day. You stand there like a beggar. You're pumping your gas at $3, $4, $5 a gallon. No one to assist you. And then if you need air, you drive to the other part of the convenience store and you put in a couple dollars to try to fill up your tires, and it doesn't have enough air coming out to fill up a balloon. So we went downhill extremely bad. We went downhill extremely bad. Wow. What a difference. 17 cents a gallon. Full service. Now $3 to $5 a gallon. And you're getting out in the rain in the nasty weather, holding a dirtiest pump. I bet you did a test on that pump handle, It probably has 17 different diseases on it. What a damn mess. Okay, let's get back to the store. We also wanted to flourish for more personal reasons. The store is a personification of our being, expression, and will determination to do something more than just to go to work at a mediocre job. So you want to try to get out of Kimberly Clark and have a business.
Yeah. Well, I had a knack for it. I had a
knack for it, right. Not only that, Mr. Jeckovich, at the same time, he ran a snowplow business and a wallpapering business, woodworking business, cement business. So he was
and then placating my mother to do stuff
taking
that
care
she
of his
wanted.
mother at the same time. And believe me, she was a full-time job. She was a full-time job. Mr. Jeckovich, since he brought it up, took care of his mother from when he was 11 years old, because his father, Marion Jeckovich, was a legal immigrant that came through the proper way of Ellis Island from Russia. He would never accept a handout. People back then, if they didn't earn it, they didn't take it. Mr. Jeckovich, his father, Marion Jeckovich, at the age of 43, making cement in Niagara Falls, New York, died of a heart attack. And so Mr. Jeckovich was obligated to take care of his mother from when he was 11 years old to his mother's death at 89, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a difference between these legal aliens today and what it was, the greatest generation back then. They worked, they produced, they gave back to the people, and they're all around good people. Now you got these illegal aliens today. They have affected every aspect of your life. Try to go into the emergency room today, and you'll have about 15 illegal aliens at the front of the desk complaining about some little tiny thing, and you're a whitey in the back, which paid all the taxes to get those 16 or 17 illegals dominating and taking up all the time of the emergency room, and you're standing back there like a bum, and you can't get service. That's so different than how it was then. An immigrant covered their own weight. An immigrant did everything to make the world a better place. Not today.
2.5.
So, yeah, they're just scavengers. They're fucking scavengers at the highest degree.
Yeah.
Animals. They're fucking animals.
Yeah, you look back and you say, how in the hell did we ever get through all that nonsense?
How do we get so screwed up is right. But anyways, let me read another paragraph. We wanted to flourish for the more personal reasons. We did not expect to become prosperous in our venture, but we desired it to advance our concept of achievement and development. Next element factor in our lives, an expression of our eagerness to do something more than was expected of us. I confided in Delphine as we sat on the couch in the living room that night with all the children asleep, and I enjoyed myself tremendously today at the store, so it was very fulfilling working at the store.
Yeah.
Admittedly, the large crowd bothered me slightly, but despite that, I felt that I belonged there, and I realized a great sense of fulfillment, which is important. If you don't have purpose, or if you don't have fulfillment in your life, you're basically fucking dead.
Yeah.
And Effa said, I liked the concept of responsibility and acting on my own assessment of the various situations across the day. I felt in control. The idea of taking charge appealed to me, and it was invigorating and stimulating. Minutes, please.
55 seconds.
Huh?
55 seconds.
So, we're to pick up on this chapter. This is our great chapter, but that store is a great thing you did. It really fulfilled your life.
Yeah, 18 years, yeah.
Yeah. That was a great store. And then how were the sales once you got into it, like 6 months later?
How much I made a month?
No, not how much, but how did the sales always get better?
Oh yeah, because I run a clean place. The guy down the corner had the same thing I had, but he wasn't getting nobody in it. He had a sloppy place.
So yours was absolutely
clean,
spotless.
Yeah.
Did your wife do the cleaning?
No, she didn't do anything. Delphi didn't do anything, no. She didn't even clean the soap dishes on top.
You did the cleaning, right?
Yeah, I asked her to do that, she wouldn't do it.
5 seconds.
Yeah.
Wow.
She wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
pick it up tomorrow.